Hey Cancer, welcome to the channel and thank you for your patience. This is going to be a love check-in for you, Cancer, love truth specifically. I've been getting a lot of personal readings where there's a lot of confusion or ambiguity and heartbreak because of a misunderstanding or lack of communication, not knowing what the truth of, the other person is, what the other person is actually feeling. I'm finding it specifically, with the masculine, that it's hard to express what they are truly feeling at the moment. And so instead of doing that, I think there's this, well, for some of the readings, I've been picking up this fear of not being the bad guy or this fear of not hurting someone. And so ironically, what disappearing and ghosting actually does is exactly that. It doesn't avoid the heartbreak. It doesn't avoid, in fact, accountability and truth is probably the best way to go about things, but that's not always the case. There's a reason I'm sharing this with you, Cancer, so this might resonate for some of you. But let's see. For Cancer, Sun in strong placements, remember, this doesn't have to be romantic love. It can be career, it can be friendship, it can be family as well. So take it how it resonates. The strongest messages are always going to come through. So if this is not your story, don't make it your story. Okay, Cancer, for love. Spirit, please and thank you. For love, truths, what does Cancer need to know? Messages of guidance. Only the energy of love and light is welcome. Negative energy must leave now. This field is sovereign. Today is also a full moon in Capricorn, Cancer, which is your opposite sign. And it's asking you what needs to be activated and what needs to be released. What are you holding onto for dear life that it's time to let go of? I do get that some of you were experiencing anxiety or sleepless nights about a situation, but you are now healing. It feels like after this period of, or your nervous system went into shock or anxiety or a sense of freeze or flight or fight even. What I'm feeling is, and it's because of a situation that left you feeling heartbroken or confused, but you're coming out of that. There is a healing energy that I'm feeling for you, Cancer, which is beautiful. Okay, let's see. Yes, coming out of a period of grief and loss for some of you. Okay, Cancer, let's see the Hierophant. I just want to get all the cards because they usually tell a story together. Yep, definitely healing here. Moving on, starting a whole new chapter, validating yourself, Cancer, and self-love. Wow, that's amazing. This could be a divorce for some of you. This could be a separation of a marriage where there was a lot of conflict, maybe internal conflict where you weren't really happy. It could also be, Cancer, a dissolution of conditioning in a way, the way that you see a relationship, the way that you believe a relationship should be, the rules and regulations around love, the rules and regulations around communication in relationship, all of those things. And you could have been in conflict with someone about that for some of you. The Hierophant card of Taurus, major arcana, so you could be dealing with a Taurus, but it's a governing energy. It's everything that is meant to be in place in order to keep control, in order to have control and not chaos. But what it was resulting in was chaos and a lack of control and conflict, and people kind of fighting to get their opinions heard, or fighting to have their opinion be the right way or the only way. This could have also been an internal conflict for some of you, Cancer, not knowing what the right thing to do is, not knowing how to move forward maybe in a situation. But that is coming to an end. You are looking at things from a new perspective and realizing that the rules can be bent, and the rules are not set in stone. And first of all, who even made up the rules? This is about you and how you feel and your person. And in relationship, what does that look like? It's not about anybody else, Cancer, and it's nobody else's business, actually. It does feel like for some of you there was a lot of interference from family as well. And Cancer, you are a family body, so family opinions do matter to you, but not to the point where it's starting to affect or dictate your choices and your life and affect your relationships. There's a beam of light coming through, which I do not want to adjust, Cancer, because it's so beautiful for your reading. So healing energy, the Star card of Aquarius and the Fool card of Aries. You could be dealing with an Aquarius or an Aries. This is new energy. This is healing energy. This is a revival of your own energy, Cancer. A revival of that sense of feeling alive again. Maybe for a period you haven't been feeling yourself, you haven't been feeling inspired to do what you usually love to do, your hobbies, your passions, just living life. And that energy is coming back for you. There is a new beginning here for you. And 2 major arcana. So this is divinely guided, and it has happened in divine timing. Maybe it's because it's your birthday month, Cancer. And I forgot to say happy birthday. Happy birthday, Cancer. For those of you who have already had a birthday, and for those whose birthdays are coming up. This is also about self-validation, Cancer. And I was just having a conversation with my friend about this now. How we judge ourselves and the harshness of the words that we use when speaking to ourselves. And it all relates to how others see us, or how we perceive others to see us, how we think others might see us, how we want others to see us. And these judgments can be really intense, and they can be really damaging to the psyche. If you had to listen to your inner thoughts moment by moment, what are the things that you are saying to yourself? This is about non-performance. This is about validation coming from within. It's about being yourself. And again, this comes back to the point of it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about how you choose to have a relationship, or how you choose to be in relationship. As long as it's not hurting anybody else, obviously, or damaging, as long as it's not illegal, basically, is what I'm saying. It's nobody's business. And you've gotten to this point where it's just an inner peace from knowing that you are okay with you. You are okay with who you are. You are okay with how you are willing to do things. You are aligned in your own morals and values and in the way forward and how you want to take action. And it's a beautiful space to be, because it doesn't actually matter what anybody else says or thinks. It doesn't affect your mood anymore, Cancer. And I think that's what was happening. It's almost like your sense of worth or your mood or your energy was dependent on how someone else was seeing you. This again is about self-love. It's a confirmation. It's a repeating message. Thank you, Spirit. It's giving yourself back what you have expected from others and that you haven't gotten from others. And it's never going to come from others unless we are able to give it to ourselves first. And that's so important. And that's still one of my biggest lessons, is being able to give myself time out. Not in the naughty corner sense, but in the relaxing sense, not wanting, if my body is telling me that I'm tired, that it's okay to have a nap. If I feel like having a nourishing, wholesome meal, then I will have, a bowl of pasta or whatever it is that your body is saying to you. And again, this is about grounding into the body. Chiron in Taurus right now, the lessons are around grounding into the physicality, into our physicality, listening to your body, aligning with your body, giving you what you need without any sense of judgment, without any sense of guilt. I had this voice in my head that it's not okay to just sit and do nothing. That old adage, idle hands make for the devil's work. And my grandmother, my mom, they've always been busy, especially my grandmother, always busy, never just sitting and doing nothing until now when she's 95. She sometimes has a quiet moment, but those voices were in my mind. And why I'm saying this to you is we don't realize it, but we carry so many beliefs around the way we are supposed to be or the way things are supposed to be done based on what we've been told and based on generational traumas and their own triggers. And it's about releasing that and understanding and recognizing what works for you, what aligns for you. And that is what is important, Cancer. I just want to get a final closing message of guidance for Cancer. What is the outcome? So if this is a love situation, Cancer, what it's saying is if you're finding that you are not yourself in a situation, you are ready to leave. You are ready to choose yourself and to choose yourself in the situation, unless the other person is willing to, align or to not agree. There's an alignment that's happening between you and someone here, Cancer. And you are looking at whether, this is something that can survive long term, because it feels like a big misalignment with certain things. And it's either that you're always going to be in conflict over these beliefs, or you're going to choose to move on. And there's a rainbow for you, Cancer. How beautiful is that? So it's not whether the other person is wrong and you are right, or, it's not about right or wrong in any way. It's just about what makes sense for both of you. And it's emotional fulfillment. The rainbow always reminds me, in the tarot, it always represents your emotional peace and the ultimate emotional fulfillment, which is about what you want in the end. Yes, again, this conflict. So repeating message, and this is what you want to be walking away from, Cancer, or this is what you no longer have space for in your world, is this energy of, fighting for who's right and who's wrong, opinions being thrown left, right, and center. This is what you are releasing and cutting out, even if it means cutting family members out of your life for, a short while or even permanently. If all that they bring to the table is criticism and judgment and an opinion about what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. Yes, standing in your power, standing in your pride, card of Leo. Some of you could be dealing with the Leo. This rainbow has completely blocked my view, my space now. But anyway, not blocked, opened up. So you could be dealing with the Leo, but this is the energy of standing in alignment in your power, in your fire, finding your strength again, finding your courage and your passion again, Cancer. It is about a sense of self-worth, and it's standing in your self-worth. Leo is about self-worth. It is about the solar plexus. It's fire energy. It's your identity and your purpose in the world. Nobody else can hold that for you. Nobody else can dictate that to you. What is your unique value, your unique gift and purpose? And that is what is important here. And you are not going to be able to offer that to the world and back into community if you are listening to the opinions of others. So if this has to do with a relationship, Cancer, stand in your energy, stand in your power. Again, this could be family as well. This could be career. But the message is about standing in alignment with who you are, Cancer, and blocking out the naysayers or the people that are not in the arena. If you haven't watched the Netflix documentary or talk Brene Brown called Courage, or read her book Braving the Wilderness, or any of Brene Brown's books, she talks about, not taking opinions and not taking unsolicited advice from people who are not living the life that you are living. Okay, Cancer, with this beautiful rainbow, I am going to end this reading. If you'd like a personal reading, please message me. My details are in the description box below. But until next time, sending you so much love.